When I rode down the Palisades, my neighborhood was burning. It looked like a war zone. I saw firemen, I saw fires, I saw so much.
How did this death compare to all the other deaths in your life?
I don't know if I would choose to move through transformation in this way anymore. This was my master initiation into alchemy. Becoming a master teacher sometimes means you have to walk through the fire.
My name is Crystal Streets, and I am a 21st century modern day alchemist. And welcome to my multiverse. Come on in.
I'm so happy you're here.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Oh, I feel like I just want to start by giving you so much gratitude for just holding me.
Literally and figuratively?
Yeah. I just remember, and I can laugh now, but the day that I found out the house was gone, like you literally rushed over to me and you put your muscle body all over me.
I hovered your whole body.
You did. And it felt like I was being covered and held. And I just want to say thank you. Because you like really, really showed up for me during a time where normally, like, you know, we do things alone. I'm so used to doing things alone. I've been doing things alone my whole life. But I've stepped into a season, especially post-fire, where what touched me the most is how much community I had and people that came to support me. Like, I had no idea that this sort of community existed.
Yeah.
This sort of, I had sisterhood, but even the outer layer of my onion, as you would say, because the core is usually your
core.
Yes. But the way you held space for me, and I think this is a mirror of like how we do, but this was like, you came through. And I was like, damn. Like, my girl is so down for me. And the way you hold space for me, my children, the way you stayed with me after the fire. We were just talking about how you called all your people to send me products. I mean, I think I'm still getting
you
products.
Probably are.
I think the biggest thing that touched me was, you know, 3 days before the fire, I hosted a tea ceremony at my house. And that was like my favorite thing to do at my house. And you came to that one, and that was your first one. And that is the most, like, one of the most biggest memories pre-fire. That this tea ceremony that we all enjoy, and it went so deep. And I remember asking my friend Alice, right? She's an astrologer, and I said to her, I said, this is a year of the snake, and I'm a snake. And I said, what do you think about that? And she said, you know, my mom usually says this is a year of bad luck. But she said, but I have a different perspective on it. She was like, I see it as a year of death and rebirth, as a year of deep transformation. And in my head, I was like, how much deeper can it go? But baby, that snake energy started the year off with vengeance.
Flames.
Fire. And so I just want to thank you for being here, for helping me share this story that you know was really, really, really personal, that is dear to my heart. That was the hardest thing, is the hardest thing that I am moving through. And I couldn't think of anyone else because you were so close to it. to share this story with. So thank you
Yes.
for being here.
Yes.
And thank you for holding me down. As
Always
my
and
sis.
forever.
I mean, girl, we got this. Girl, we
got this. We do. Through it all.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually what sisterhood is, right? If we're lucky enough to find this. And I feel like it's so special. The older I get, the more I realize how rare certain relationships and friendships I have in my life are.
Yeah.
And I see you. You see
too.
me.
Yes.
We live like these parallel lives together.
We do.
And it's kind of like, wow,
I hope
and amazing.
you don't go through a fight.
I know, let's knock on something.
Yeah.
But we do, right?
Yeah.
And when that happened, Chris, I was just like, are you okay? Where's Zen? Where's Lyra? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah.
Right? I was safe.
Yeah.
And I knew that I could be there for you. Like,
Yeah.
you were there for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you,
Yeah.
y'all, this woman, I went through a breakup over the summer.
Yeah.
And we were living together. We had to move out. And she's like, go stay at my place. Me being me.
She was acting like,
Me being me. I was like, oh, don't worry. I'm going to stay at a guest house. And she called me. And
she's
she
like,
said,
but it doesn't have a closet, and I gotta bring a. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, I was
did.
leaving for my summer travels, and I was like, my house is empty. Like, it's a sanctuary.
you literally was like, go stay at my house. What are
Yeah.
you doing? Why are you even making this harder? I told you.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I felt so held by you and loved by you. And that home held me.
Yes.
And loved me.
Yes.
You know, so I know how special that place was. And I know how much you curated that home to feel like your sanctuary. I felt it. I got to be loved by it and held by it for that month. And I needed it that month. I was going through it. You poured us tea on New Year's Eve. It was New Year's Day, and it was so powerful. I remember watching you pour because I introduced you to tea ceremonies in
you
the
did.
Palisades. You lived there.
Yes.
And I would go there every Friday with these incredible women. And I said, Chris, you have to come and sit with us.
Yeah.
This tea ceremony is so powerful.
Yes.
I've seen women change their lives. I've seen women go through divorces. I've
Yes.
seen like careers go explode. I've seen like massive shifts
Yes.
in tea ceremonies with women. And I was like, Crystal, come with me
Yeah.
and sit with these women. And I think you felt what I felt because then it became one of your rituals to life.
It inspired me. I mean, I think my first introduction, I went to one tea ceremony back in during the pandemic, maybe 2021 or 2020. And I experienced it with someone who kind of ignited my spiritual journey. And I got to receive the ceremony first from a man who poured. And I had never experienced anything like that. It was like almost like the divine feminine and the divine masculine playing and allowing yourself to receive. Like when he would pour into my cup, it felt like he was pouring into my soul.
Yeah.
And so I had this out of body experience to the point where, like, after the ceremony, like, I had to get up and go because I was like, what just happened here? And so then when I started going with you in the Palisades, it just inspired me. I was like, oh, I need to integrate this into my offering. And I had this beautiful deck overlooking the ocean.
It was stunning.
Ocean view. So I was like, I'm going to integrate this into my meditation. So I came up with this thing that I do on Fridays as like tea and meditation. And I wanted everybody to be able to come there. And I curated the group. It was like a group of 6 to 8. It never went over 8. But I curated each week a new group of people because I knew I was just intuitively calling people together to create these mini soul tribes and incorporating the tea as like, I think how I was able to do it was to like, I first took you guys on a journey of meditation and release, and then the tea became a way of integration.
Yeah.
Whereas like I would tell you to charge your manifestations in the tea, and when you drink the tea, it almost you are like drinking your manifestations.
Yeah. I think we should show them.
Yes, we should.
How we pour.
Yes. So first you want to add some of these beautiful, and this is the tea that I served on New Year's Day. It's called Dragon Phoenix.
Of course. Of course. Why would it be named anything else?
Dragon Phoenix. And we always light an incense to clear the energy and set the space. You want to set an intention for this little tea ceremony?
The intention will be love. Through the flames, I believe that you found deep love all around you in places that you didn't even know existed, from people you've never even met in your life, but more deeply love within yourself. And the way you've loved your children through the fires, the way you loved your people still through the fires is pretty magical and a really beautiful experience from a friend to watch, and to see you go through this journey and to see you still stand in all this love and brightness and joy. After losing it all, it's pretty astounding to see you here sitting with me sharing your story. So the intention today is love.
Ashe. I mean, one time for that.
Yeah, it's true.
So let's drink.
Yes.
Do you slurp when you do yours?
Sometimes. Also, do you remember the first tea ceremony we did post-fire? We have to tell them about that because that was powerful.
Yeah, it was the Cancer full moon. And I'm a Cancer moon. Yeah.
I remember you were sitting diagonal from me in the circle.
You saw me moving through it all. And then I would look over you and you was like deep in whatever. You went off somewhere.
I was in it.
But yeah, post-fire, I got one of my son's classmates was facilitating tea, hosting tea, and she invited us. It was like fresh. It was like the Monday after the fire. And that day, I had a million things to do. I remember like I was on the phone with the insurance. I was on the phone with FEMA. Like it was a lot going on, trying to figure out what's going to happen with the schools. But I said, no, I have to go and take this space to sit with myself, to be quiet, to listen. And we walk into this woman's home and I melted. I wrote something really, really powerful I'm going to share about the transmutation process. Oh, it was deep. Then I got invited to a tea ceremony from one of the parents of Zen school, my son's school. And at first I wasn't going to go, but I needed it. I needed it bad. Like I needed to have an hour to myself to be quiet because I haven't been able to. So I go to the tea ceremony, and when I walk in the house, it just reminded me of my own home and my last tea ceremony. The woman's house had all this wood in it, like wood beams, and my house looked like this beautiful wooden cabin retreat house because the ceilings were wood, and it reminded me of my house. It reminded me of the tea that I hosted on New Year's Day for some of my tribe and some beautiful souls that was so special and deep, and it was overwhelming. Like I was crying the whole ceremony. But what I took away from it the most, and Cancer is the sign that represents the home and family and the mother. But what made me the most happy today was sitting in community and then just like one of my friends that I've been estranged from for a long time, she reached out to me. And it just reminded me that times like this is when you know who really loves you. Because despite the space between people or friends you've had, it feels like everyone is just putting all of that aside. And it's just reminding me that, like, I'm so loved. People may think we just sitting here pouring some tea, but y'all, this is a ritual. And this is why I am such a proponent of tea and making it a ritual. And even in my last series, you saw me like mixing my matcha, because that is a ritual for me. Tea, even matcha, I love matcha. Like, I love when I take the cup and the first sip, I don't know. It's like an out of body experience for me, right? What do you, Leah, like, help me break down the matcha, even the matcha thing.
Okay, we got to talk about matcha quickly.
Yeah, tell me.
Because I just walked with Millie the other day around the reservoir, and she was telling me that she actually went to Japan and she sat with the master, and that she learned that matcha in their culture actually represented dust.
Wow.
It actually represents like our dust, what we become.
Wow.
So it's like we're literally drinking like the cycle of our life, like the dust that you become after this life form in this body.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting
He said
chills.
matcha represented that, and when I was like, should I be drinking matcha still?
I know.
Like, am I supposed to be drinking
love
matcha? Me too. But I think that's something we should explore and go visit the master and hear what he has to say about it.
I want to just sit with the geishas. I want to learn. I want to go to the matcha farm. Like, that has been one of my like goals in life.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think it's a ritual that allows you to move through things.
Yeah.
And we're all so different, right? So while you were probably crying and then you found the joy, people were probably just starting to grieve, because we all grieve so differently.
And then you gifted me this set.
Yeah, I did.
This is like my favorite thing you did.
Thank you.
This is like, when you sent me this tea set.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. I thought about it. I said, you know, what does she need to ground her during this time? Like, what's something that, you know, we did that grounded us? And it's tea. And it's this. And yeah, when I saw it, it was so pretty. And I was like, I'm going to send it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I think that, you know, after trauma and devastation, it's really getting back to those rituals to reground yourself in your body, because the type of trauma you felt, it's not normal. It's the PTSD, the pain, and you have to take care of 2 children on top of it, Crystal.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
It was a lot.
How did you do that with the kids?
You know, what's wild, you know, when I was evacuating and I called you.
I will never forget that day in your voice.
And I FaceTimed you. I FaceTimed you, right?
Yes, you
From
did.
the car. I literally had walked out of the fire, y'all. Like,
Literally.
my neighborhood was burning. So the second time when I went to the house, I honestly had an opportunity to grab a few more things, because, not really, because I have a small car and I could literally only carry out 1 suitcase each for each of us. And that day was really traumatic. So when I had a second opportunity to go back to the house, you think about what are the things that you can't live without, but you also don't wrap your brain around that my house was not going to be here. I saw firemen, I saw fires, I saw so much, like the hiking trails.
Yeah, the mountains.
Temescal Canyon was on fire. Holding space during that time for my children was very difficult because each of them was processing the fire differently. I have a teenager and I have a 7-year-old. And when I came back to LA, I'm driving and I saw smoke. And it was just triggering. It was very, very traumatized. Like I could feel it in my body. So trying to like process my grief and then holding the space as a parent for my children, I don't know. I don't think I would have done it without my tribe.
I know, I saw. But it was actually also like, wow, she's doing it, right? Because mothers and women are so resilient. It's probably one of the most beautiful things I get to watch from women.
Yeah.
Is the resiliency and how they still nurture and love their children.
Yeah.
And seeing you go through it and still see Zen playing and having fun with his friends and coming back and we're eating dinner and we're, you know, his life stayed as much normal as we possibly could make it with his friends close by and making play dates and you being ha ha he he with the mom and dads, but y'all were all going through the same type of trauma, right? So it was like this, it was like you guys are living in two different worlds, but for the kids to make sure that they felt safe. And it was like really powerful to see that because I was like, wow, these parents are literally going through devastation. They have nothing. And here they are making sure their children are going to have a play date so their lives are normal.
Yeah.
It's the sacrifices of all sacrifices.
I think in some essence, it just was the one thing that made us happy at the moment.
Yeah.
Because children are so pure and innocent, and just to see them play, to witness children play is like so beautiful.
So with your guides, I want to talk about your guides.
Yeah.
Because I know you call on them. I know you bathe and you talk to them. We all know that. We've watched the episodes, how important they are to you.
Yeah.
How did it feel when you heard that the white bubbles and the guides failed you? And I say this because I don't think they failed you, but in your mind, in that moment of despair, I know you felt like, how did my guides not protect me?
I was pissed.
Yeah.
That was, if you want to talk about anger, what I was angry at my guides and my ancestors. I was pissed. I was like, why didn't y'all protect my land? It's January 14th, 2025. It was lighter. I slept deeply last night, but I woke up really early, and again, tons of downloads, and a big one came through. I asked why my house was burned, why I was included in these fires. My guides told me that I had asked to have my subconscious wiped clean from all the trauma, from all the pain, from all the hurt that I had ever experienced in this lifetime. So I did ask them to do that twice. I asked Spirit to wipe my subconscious clean of any trauma, hurt, pain, anything that was still stuck down there, stuck in my subconscious memory that I was not aware of, consciously and subconsciously. I asked them to remove and wipe my subconscious clean. So check this out. They said the only way that they could do that was to remove everything in my life that was attached to my old subconscious memory, including my house, including my things in my house, including the place and the people. You know, there's so many layers to your subconscious, right? Formed from life experiences and all the trauma, the pain, everything that you've experienced as a child, a teenager, all the things that have shaped you and brought you to the reality that you are right now. But there are things that sometimes you're not conscious of, and it takes you to get to certain levels of consciousness to become conscious of those things, if that makes sense. Do you follow me?
100%.
So I knew there were things that I wasn't at a level of consciousness to be conscious of. Trauma that, yes, I had done so much inner work. Yes, I had died many times. Yes, I have become this 21st century modern day alchemist. That's why I'm here, because I know how to turn the shadows into light, pain into power, pressure into diamonds. Like, that's who I am. But I was like, if there's anything else, clear it so that I can start fresh. So when I made that request, do you know what they answered me and said? They said, you asked us to clear your subconscious. And in order to do that, we needed to remove everything in that house that was attached to your subconscious, to your past.
Wow.
And I was like, what?
Wow. That is really deep.
Yeah, that was like, what?
Be careful what you ask for.
Be careful what you ask for. But they told me this was my master initiation into alchemy. And that I have graduated to a new level of mastery. Becoming a master teacher sometimes means you have to walk through the fire.
Literally.
Literally. My guides told me, be gone by 2025. I was like, pack your bags, get out of here, shit is going down. I got caught in the crossfire of the California karmic debt.
How did you detox?
I definitely left my body for a little. I needed to come back into the body. I needed to be grounded. We're kind of all living out these different parallel timelines at the same time.
Yeah.
I started connecting with those versions.
Right.